Hello, my name is Majlergaard, and I'm pleased to talk to you today at the Textiles 4th International Scientific E-Conference. The topic I'm going to talk about is leadership across culture, or how can you become a good leader in a global environment. The first thing I will talk about is the challenges you have as a global leader and a cross-cultural leader. If you are a leader already, or a manager, you know how difficult it can be to achieve things through other people. They don't behave logically. They do their own things, they have their own agenda, they have their own fears. When you have to lead a cross-cultural team, you can multiply these challenges by a large number. That is the reason for why many leaders decide not to have a cross-cultural team around them, but only a team of people they already know and who think exactly just like themselves. It is convenient, it's easy, but it really doesn't take you forward, and it doesn't leverage the entire potential of what you can actually achieve through other people. When you bring a cross-cultural team together, you achieve so much more. And that is because all these people with different cultures, different genders, different races, different age groups, different educations, different nationalities, all sorts of cultural diversity, they have different perspectives on the problems you're going to solve or the ideas you're going to generate. But in order to become a good leader for such a diverse pool of people, it is important that you acquire some new skills. One of them is cultural intelligence. Cultural intelligence is your ability to leverage the diversity and use the diversity together so that you can bring yourself and your team forward. I like to use the analogy with a knife and a fork. We can all use a knife and a fork. But try to think about it for a moment. They are very distinct tools. They are very different. But we have the intelligence to use the fork in one way, the knife in another way, together. We have that intelligence. Cultural intelligence is exactly the same thing, just with people. It is about that you as a leader have the capability to find out how can we use people's different capabilities together so that we can achieve more than if we only have one kind of people in the group. To learn these skills, you have to train yourself to do things differently. You have to unlearn things that you have learned in the past, and you have to learn a new way of assess people, assess a situation, and assess the opportunities you have in a current situation. My company Gugin provides that kind of training, and we train hundreds of leaders and potential leaders every single year. You can also learn it yourself. You can start by surrounding yourself by people who are different from yourself. It doesn't come naturally to most people to seek that diversity. But if you want to pursue that path, you have to start connecting with people and hiring people and work together with people, hang out with people who are very different from yourself. This way, you start developing cultural intelligence on your own. It takes a little longer, but you can of course do it. What you might need help to is to find out, how is my brain working when I see people who behave in a different way than you do yourself? How do I assess them? How do I avoid judging people who behave differently than I do? Our brain works that way that we are very binary when it comes to assessing other people's behavior. We either accept it or reject it. If their behavior makes sense according to our own norms and values, we tend to accept it. If it doesn't, we reject it. One thing you have to start to learn when you are developing your cultural intelligence is not to reject people's behavior just because you don't understand it. You have an obligation to dig deeper and find out why people are behaving the way they do. What are the underlying norms and values that make them behave the way they do? When you start to understand other people's value systems or other groups' value systems, you can start finding out how can we create some synergies. It takes some time and it takes some facilitation to do it. But you should definitely do it because you will increase your opportunities as a leader and the results you can achieve by many percent. So start today. If you want to join us right, start today by seeking your company of other people who are different from yourself and decide how you want to go from there. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure speaking with you.